Oh yeah, game number 2 between KiWiKaKi and TLO. KiWiKaKi is playing as the red Protoss at the lower left corner of the screen, and TLO is playing as the blue Zerg at the upper right hand corner of the screen. The map is going to be Steps of War. It is a pretty small one-on-one map, and we see a 10 pool coming from TLO. A little bit unusual, as most Zergs do like to get that early economical advantage. Maybe TLO is thinking about doing something very sneaky, as there is one pylon on the top of the ramps for KiWiKaKi at the moment, as one drone and one overlord is going to be running across the map very quickly to see what his opponent is doing, to get a feel of how he should adjust his 10 pool. A probe does set a gateway at the top of the ramp, as the drone and the probe does cross paths at the middle of the map along with the overlord, and the drone is going to be sitting here whacking away at the gateway. A lot of players do like to whack away at the pylon instead, because the pylon does have lesser HP than the gateway, and the pylon would also power the structures for other buildings, so some players do like to hit the pylon, whereas this drone really likes that gateway. And the probe has found that his opponent already has a spawning pool, so he will know the timing is a little bit too early for him to have the spawning pool for a regular build. And a lot of Zerglings are coming across, and I think KiWiKaKi knows he has to block off his entrance very soon, as a ton of Zerglings are coming. KiWiKaKi does make the right play and put down 2 pylons to block off the Zerglings for a little bit of time, as this is gonna get cancelled, and this one is also gonna get cancelled. Both those pylons were cancelled to distract. And TLO does have a drone inside the base of KiWiKaKi, and KiWiKaKi is going to use his probe to be sacrificed, as the cyber core is going to come online, and a zealot does come out in time. He does have this on hold position, I think, and that should be no problem for these Zerglings. And I mean, he probably can't get in, and these Zerglings are stuck a little bit behind there, so they're whacking away at the gateway once again, and the second gateway is open, and the secondary zealot is coming onto the field. The army size right now at 19 to 22, even though Liquid TLO does have control of the map. His resource is slightly, very slightly behind, and KiWiKaKi also does have the gas geyser up, and the overlord is going to be flying back a little bit now, as his opponent could probably get some anti-air and start shooting at it. This is very tense, and it looks like TLO left his Zerglings on hold, and he did lose 2 of them in that encounter with those 2 zealots. And there is going to be one gateway coming up in the back, one pylon, and possibly gateway. I'm assuming gateway. And the Zerglings are running back into the base once again. TLO possibly thinking about expanding here. It is a good possibility. He does have almost about 300 minerals, and we will see a hatchery at 24. I think this is maybe not something he intended to do, as KiWiKaKi is going to move out with 2 additional chrono boosted stalkers on the way, and he's probably going to send that probe as well. Yes, he is. Army size right now at 24 to 32, and these two zealots and stalkers probably going to give some trouble, unless the stalkers caught out of position by those Zerglings trying to get us around. They don't have metabolic boost upgraded just yet, not able to get the full surround on the stalker, as the stalker was able to dance his way around. One probe is in the mix as well, and that one probe will be able to provide backup. A lot of Zerglings is on the way for Liquid TLO, and that is going to further hurt his economy. And I think he might be able to set up camp here. He does set up camp once again. 2 pylons going down. If these pylons were to come online, ooh, he does cancel the hatchery. Very smart play there from TLO. He will lose that drone though, but at least he won't lose that 300 minerals that he can spend on a Roach Warren or something else. And as I was saying, Roach Warren does go down, and the secondary gas has come online for KiWiKaKi, as well as 2 additional gateways inside his base. So we will see 4 gate inside KiWiKaKi's base, and he might also be thinking about expanding, as he does have full map control with the warp gates. Warp gates very useful in teleporting units anywhere you like, anywhere you please. They will be there. Secondary gas geyser is coming for TLO on top of his base. The reason KiWiKaKi can't shoot these units is because they're at the high ground, so he doesn't have vision of them, even though they're close enough within range of the stalkers. If the stalkers were to move a little bit closer, a couple of sentries coming in as well. We see 4 stalkers, 2 sentries, and a couple of zealots. Very healthy unit mix for KiWiKaKi, as TLO is probably going to get a couple of roaches very soon, as he's probably waiting for them to spawn. A couple of more drones coming out, because he is a little bit behind in the economy battle. If we take a look at the income tab, he is slightly behind in terms of minerals, just very slightly. Harvester is also -1 for TLO, as he's going to move possibly the overlords for a little bit to see what is going on outside the range of his base. The army count at 41 to 51, and TLO is slightly supply block at the moment, and he is getting the burrow as well as the Glare Reconstitution for the roaches. And he does have 2 roaches. The roaches can go back and forth and shoot at the pylon if he does have the micro to do it. And KiWiKaKi might want to move his stalkers a little bit closer, perhaps over here, to take a couple of shots. But then if he moves that over here, the roaches can have free reign over them by shooting over the cliff, and the stalkers can't do too much. And KiWiKaKi is going to be opening a second gateway, as the roaches are going to try to move back and forth and snipe this pylon over here, and allow the Zerglings to be very effective, as the Zerglings are waiting for that signal from the roaches to run forward. And ooh, very, very close to death. He does move the roaches back into the back, and this one is almost close to death as well. Very, very fine control from both players at the moment, as TLO is trying to poke out, get that pylon down, and he's not losing any roaches. And additional roaches are being built, as well as probes and pylons. And this pylon is going to go down one more shot, and the roach is going to come out one more shot. It does go down. Expect Zerglings to come out any moment now. The burrow and the Glare Constitution is about to be complete, the roach speed that is, and the overlords are spreading the creep. The forge is being built by KiWiKaKi. We might see a push here from the roaches. He's going to come out here. Very, very nice force field, and as expected, TLO does burrow. Very, very fine play. Ooh, he does burrow. Ooh, he lost 1 roach there, and the roaches do regenerate HP very, very quickly once burrow. And ooh, look at how close that one is to death. He's probably not going to burrow that one for a while, and he really needs a robotics facility, which is exactly what he's building. And he's also using the tunneling claws along with the increased overlord speed. This is a very, very nice contain from KiWiKaKi, as Liquid TLO can't do too much, but he is regenerating underneath the ground. And these overlords, ooh, a little bit missed rally point perhaps, and that's why he was stuck. And the continuous use of the force fields, these sentries have a ton of energy, will be able to contain his opponent for quite a while. A lot of cannons going up at the natural expansion of KiWiKaKi on this side of the screen over here. Another force field goes up, but the tunneling clause is very close to complete. Once that is complete, he will need an observer to counter these roaches. Ooh, that roach is a little bit stuck, a little bit glitchy next to the force field, and the force field is continuously on and on and on and on. And TLO cannot get out right now. He really needs to. He is hurting, because if you take a look at the income right now, the Protoss player is leading quite a bit, and that is a significant advantage. You never want to be behind a Protoss player, especially as a Zerg. And another roach looks like he forgot to burrow. I think it is the force field. I don't think it is Liquid TLO. I think it's pretty easy to burrow, and the roaches are burrowing right now. They're sneaking outside. And where is the observer? The observer is right there. He does see it. All the roaches pop up, and another force field goes off, but he is sniping those sentries away. Very, very smart play by Liquid TLO. He does take down a couple of stalkers there. Pretty much even exchange there, I think, as additional assimilators are coming up for KiWiKaKi as he's falling back. He could probably put down some more force fields to slow these roaches slightly if he wants to. An additional two more cannon coming up. This is a very deceptive pylon. It will allow your opponent to think that he can come in and take down that pylon and unpower everything, but in fact these 2 pylons in the back will still keep your cannons powered. So that is like a little bait to try to get your enemy to use a couple of units, and he does take down a couple of roaches, 2 roaches and 1 overlord that time. And Immortal is coming out very, very soon for KiWiKaKi, as Liquid TLO has recently gotten his own base. He's trying to maintain a contain here. Very, very nice force fields, isolating several of those roaches and Zerglings, not allowing the roaches to get a surround. Very, very fine play from KiWiKaKi, just as what we would expect from him. And he does, Liquid TLO was able to come in and snipe one of those sentries, but the Immortal is out and it is in full effect. Along with this observer, will be able to make quick work of any tunneling roaches. So I think the tunneling roach play has had its time, and the roaches are still coming. If we take a look at the army size, 71 to 92, both players relatively close to the max that they can have at the moment, and there is going to be metabolic boost along with double chrono boost on the Nexus as well as the Immortal. And there's going to be 1 observer flying around the map trying to find out where his opponent is, and the Overlord is trying to, I don't think fighting a photon cannon is the best idea there, as he does have a lot of photon cannons, and these are very, very well placed photon cannons, if I might add. Especially if you kept your opponent contained for a good portion of the map. And there's a huge army brewing for KiWiKaKi, as he's probably deciding to move out very, very soon. He's probably going to put additional pylons down and get... Ooh, he's also getting 2 more gateways. I really like this aggressive style of KiWiKaKi, containing the Zerg player, preventing him to expanding himself. And the +1 is also going to be chrono boosted as well. and we do see the glands research for the overlords, I believe, to do some drops for TLO, and TLO is going to back away a little bit as he's grabbing his own 2 extractors, and he is a little bit behind. He is placing a spine crawler down, but I don't know how much that's going to do if his opponent does have 3 immortals, it looks like. Army size right now 120 to 83. KiWiKaKi is pulling ahead, and he's putting down another pylon. He really wants that +1 to finish, I think, but he's not really chrono boosting too much as he's focusing a lot on the battlefield, and these roaches really needs to hurry up and run away. And another force field, and they have to burrow to go under it, but while they're burrow, they move a little bit slower, so that does hurt him a little bit. A couple of infestors coming out could be the unit that Liquid TL needs to try to unbalance this, and infestors can also fungal growth the observer and hurt it, I believe. And the roaches are going to fall back to the infestor. Infestor does not have enough energy because he doesn't have the upgrade, and the upgrade does take longer than the infestor. Oh, I think he wanted to fungal growth, but he didn't realize he didn't have enough energy, and Liquid TL does call GG. That is a very cool game, very nice way to play Protoss versus Zerg. If you like what you see, please do subscribe and also follow me on Twitter so you can keep updated on what kind of games will be coming your way. This will be going to game number 3, and I hope to see you guys there. Thanks for watching. See you guys at the next game.